and welcome back to my channel, as well as to the Tanares RPG Kickstarter series, where I am unboxing all of the published items I have received thus far with respect to the Kickstarter. In this video, we are going to look at the packs that were introduced with the RPG Kickstarter. These are going to include the character, class, and villains packs that were introduced as optional add-ons or included in some of the tiers of the RPG Kickstarter. All of these miniatures are meant to be compatible with the Arena, the contest board game, Tanares Adventures expansion for the board game, and can be used for 5th edition based campaigns as well as for the 5th edition Tanares campaign that's coming out with the RPG. Additionally, if you purchased the Penumbral pack, all of these miniatures in each of these packs can be moved into that box as well, because storage has been provided in that box for these miniatures. With respect to the character pack, we're going to look at this first, and it introduces a number of characters, both male and female representations of those characters. So if I flip that box over, you can see that there's a number of characters that are going to come into play here. These were characters that were unlocked as stretch goals during the Kickstarter campaign, and a number of the miniatures in the pack represent an overall number of miniatures gained as a result of that stretch goal. And I'll go ahead and open that up here in a moment. With respect to the class pack, it is very similar in relation to the character pack. But in this case, these miniatures are more representative of the classes they were created to reflect. And once again, there are male and female variants of these particular figurines or miniatures. Specifically, there is a Dragonblade, Madwalker, Elementalist, and Redeemer classes that are represented by each of these figurines. The villain pack contains a number of villain-based characters that can be used as heroes within the board game, or even to be used as unique villains for any kind of campaign that you might be running specific to 5th edition, whether it's the Tanares RPG or whether it's actually Dungeons & Dragons. So it can be used for Dungeons & Dragons based campaigns, and it can be used for the Tanares RPG campaigns at some point in the future. The rest of the miniatures that are in here are just plain villains that can be used for any campaign, be it a board game, one of the adventures, or an RPG specific campaign. I believe that there were only a limited number of villains in this box that contain hero cards, however, so I don't think all of these cards, or all of these miniatures rather, actually contain a card, but we'll have a look at it when we get a moment and open that up. So I'm going to start off with the character pack with respect to opening it up. So let's go ahead and open this up. That guy looks familiar, and I don't know why. So these look like they got a little bit jumbled over. So let me deal with that first. And I don't know. I see. Okay, so this guy is meant to be assembled. There's a block here that you can go through and assemble him with respect to that. And I think once he's assembled, he just has to go in like this. But we'll deal with that later. So some of these are actually quite loose in here. They look like they've taken a bit of a bounce. Oh, that's not a good sign. There's a piece of blue over here. All right, so Dragori Games, a little bit of a quality issue here. Some of the creatures seem to have gotten hooked together, so I don't know if I can glue this together. That's actually a very thin piece. But this particular figurine here has definitely suffered some damage, and that was primarily because they got locked into that particular character's chain, if you will. That almost looks like a witch hunter kind of thing. There's quite a bit of detail here. There's 2 of each of some of these. So you got 2 of these, 2 of this one. A little bit of a different there, kind of difference there. 2 of these one here. So there's a lot of detail in these, which is good. There are some cards. So these are the gold cards that represent each of these individual characters. There's also the actual action cards that come through as well as character cards for that. So those just fit there. That just fits there. And then we have a boss pad. Looks like a couple of them in there. I swear he looks familiar. I can't figure out why. But anyway, that is what is in the class pack. So looks like there's a little bit of damage associated with that particular box. So all told so far, I've had 3 or 4 figurines that have suffered damage with what I've looked at throughout this entire series. That's not bad considering that over time there's going to be about 277 miniatures as part of this whole group. All right, so I'm going to next start with the class pack. So we'll just move this here. Move that out of the way. So there are quite a few boss pads with respect to this one here and a larger number of deck-based cards for this. So it looks like all of that is set for there. These look to be in better condition. This one, wow. Okay, so that has a dragon tail. That would be the environmentalist, I believe. And these ones do have numbers. So this is M154. I think that might be the water elemental, if I'm not mistaken. This one I think is supposed to be the fire elemental or the class. I don't know. I haven't familiarized myself with these classes just yet. It's going to take a little bit once I get the RPG books themselves to go through it and make sure that I'm able to understand what's going on there. As I said, quite a few cards, both character and action cards that are here and intermixed, so it might be worth sorting through to make it a little bit easier to find things once you get a game going. That's actually kind of cool. Set that over there. And then the last box that we're going to look at today is the villain pack. Aha! So we do have 4 boss pads in here and a limited number of cards. I don't think this represents all of the possible figurines that are here, but I will update in the description below the video if I do find out that everything lines up with what we've got here for figurines. So we've got a number of figurines here. Looks like this guy took a bit of a turn. There we go. So they definitely got knocked around during shipping, but these ones don't look like they took any damage. Nothing could cross over and hook into anybody else. So that's actually kind of cool. Oh yeah, legs there. It just didn't look like it was. So these are what these particular figurines look like. And I've decided as part of the series that when I do the painting, I'll do a before and after of each of the miniatures so that you can actually see what they are, if I do decide to do a painting video for these. So it's interesting that there's only 4 boss pads here. I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Sayoko? But they represent the ninja. So that is all of the figurines for the class, character, and villain pack. And once again, if you had purchased the Penumbral pack, all of these miniatures will be able to fit in there, including all of their boss pads and cards. Should be able to fit in that box, and I believe I'm recording that one next. So I'll show you what that looks like in that video. Hope you found this useful and informative, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.